I just want to make sure that I have not wasted anybody's time. Just want to tell them that this work, what we have been doing on top of the world, really is quite incredible, because it has brought everyone together. Mm-hmm. Remember, in the native teachings, we say the circle, which has no beginning, no ending, in which we all belong. In the east, where the sun rises, it's also yellow, always yellow. But the yellow people are the first one to cook the earth. So thus, today, when the sun rises, it is pink. That means pollution has come in. So the yellow people have not lived up to their spiritual responsibility of taking care of the environment. In the south, when the sun shines highest upon us, there is no shadow amongst us. And when you look up to the sky, you see the sun being white. Thus, we are the white people. The white people's responsibility is to ensure there are no differences amongst us, because there's no shadow amongst us. But instead, the white man has been conquering everything. So they have not lived up to their spiritual responsibility either. In the west, where the sun sets, she's always red. And my grandmother always told us that you are as red as the setting of the sun. So I grew up knowing that I am a red man, not because of war paint, but because of the sun. I am a red man, just like the setting of the sun. And at the setting of the sun, remember, after a feast, how beautiful it is to sit there with the family and relations and enjoy the setting of the sun. Instead, in our native community, we are bickering about whose ceremony is better than the others. So not lift up to our spiritual responsibility either. And at night, where it is dark, that's the black man. His responsibility is to ensure safety for all at night. Guess what happens with the black man now? He's under war constantly in his land. So black man has not learned to live up to his spiritual responsibility either. That means none of us have. Now you understand why the world is in such a turmoil, because none of us have lived up to our spiritual responsibility. But now we have. The world has collected itself and brought sacred ashes to the site, and many, many sacred fires are burning during the ceremony, hundreds of them. And I pray that you and your listeners will be able to do a ceremony in your land and celebrate the coming home of a sacred fire to the top of the world, and truly celebrate yourself in your heart, the joy, because somewhere along the line, you and me, we need to learn to realize that we are the hope. Let me tell you, George, the governments are going to be negotiating about another climate deal. The time of negotiation has ended long ago, but they're still doing it. So really the only hope lies in you changing your ways.
Everything begins and ends with self.
Exactly. In Greenland, we will raise the consciousness to a new level. Remember, yours and my responsibility is to lift up the spirit above the present. So whose spirit we lift it can have a chance to look with eyes of faith into his own future. And my grandmother told us that the future is powerfully beautiful if only we could learn to see it.
And then dream it and live it.
And live it. Those are the teachings that come in.
How do you feel about science and spirituality? Are they able to work hand in hand, side by side?
Not yet. We haven't come this far. But science is just a young thing. We haven't reached its potential yet. But we will, though. We will come to that point in our life that it truly would be awesome with science and spirit truly coming together. We will do that. But until now, science is just in its infancy. And we can see that literally in our world. Everything is just beginning now.
This truly is the time of spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should it tie into everything? Maybe it should.
It does.
Yeah.
Really, George, when you look at it, it really does tie up to everything.
We have the 4 aspects of man, the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And this really is the time of that spirit walk.
Yeah.
With that being said, how does one find a spiritual life that's worth living?
How does one do it?
Not only do it, but first, there's a lot of people out there that don't even realize. I think that there's a huge difference between spirituality and religion, first off.
Yeah.
That I don't think a lot of people even understand that. So how do we get the majority of people to first of all understand that there's a spiritual component to life, understand that it's the important way to look at things right now, and then to live that life?
Yeah, how do we do it? For me, it's like, wow, you and I, we're being given a chance to really do something which is so simple and so beautiful, if only we could learn to do it.
Not necessarily easy all the time.
Everything is so simple, but we make it so complex and complicated.
Yeah.
That's what we do. You and I, we are the experts.
Yeah, true enough.
We really are, George, when you think of it. Isn't it true that you and I, we make it so complex?
Indeed.
Instead of looking at the very beautiful things, which really is so simple and beautiful. But we do make it complicated.
Is that the mind getting in the way of spirit? Like I tend to try and stay out of my own way as much as possible. I try, but I do try just to stay out of my way and let, the universe or the creator, whatever one wants to call it, guide me to where I most need to be at that moment.
Uh-huh.
I think the world just needs to hear a lot more of your drumming and singing.
No, we need to really learn to be together. We cannot afford to live insulated away from one another. We just can't.
When I look at something and see that it separates, I don't want anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
We need cooperative touching,
we really
sharing.
need to work together. We really need to be together.
Yeah, in a true, full, loving way, as Lynn just said.
Exactly. And life has so much to give us, doesn't it?
When we stop and smell the roses, as it were, it's a beautiful place out there.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is.
Beautiful, beautiful place.
I know you're going to be in Greenland in a month. What's happening for you now in the near future?
At this very moment, I am leaving for Bishkek at the Kyrgyzstan. The people on the roof of the world have asked me to be there to do their ceremony, because they do a ceremony for the event in Greenland. So I'm flying over there tonight to do that. And then after that, I'll go home to Greenland and prepare the site and finishing the site, and everyone will be arriving. There are hundreds of people arriving to do the ceremony. So,
if people want to look into that, where can they go to find out more information on the ceremony?
Go to icewisdom.com.
That's it, yeah, www.icewisdom.com. You'll find all kinds of information, and it's the Fire and Ice 2009 ceremony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many things happening. It's just phenomenal, but time to act upon it now. Really, time to act upon it.
Is there a vision that your elders and yourself are looking for from this gathering?
Oh, there are so many visions. There's so many. George said, there's so many things in which the old people look at and say, let's do it, let's be. So let's just go and do it and be in a good way and allow that spirit to live. So I say, let's go for it. Let's go and do it and let that spirit live. So I pray that what I've been able to give you is something which means something to you and to your listeners. The intention is not to make anyone better than the other, but rather recognizing each other's beauty.
I truly believe that you have. It's been an honor to have you on the program.
Oh.
And I want to take the time now just to say thank you for taking the time this morning to share your sacred space with our sacred space.
Oh.
Thank you.
What a privilege. And you have given me a great honor to be in your presence. Thank you.
The honor is indeed all mine. Awesome. Okay.
Much love to everybody.
Much love. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Uncle. I hope you enjoyed listening to his words as much as I did. I wanted to end a little bit early because I wanted to play the type of music that we have so often referred to here this morning, because this is amazing music. I'm going to play a little bit of Uncle first, and then the song that I think will blow you away.
The greatest distance in existence of man is not from here to there, nor from there to here. Nay, the greatest distance in existence of man is from his mind to his heart. Unless you conquer that distance, you can never learn to soar like an eagle and realize your own immensity within. And we all stood there in silence and realizing that we have just been given a teaching which truly brought home the reality that you and I will live in a world so far away from our own reality within. And no wonder we never know who we are, because unless you soar like an eagle and look at yourself, you will not realize the distance. And unless you do that, you can never know how great you are within. Oh. This is my drum. Her name is Qilaut. It means an instrument from the grey sky. That's Qilaut. So I actually have an instrument from the grey sky. I think I like it. This is a chant I made for my mother. My mom wanted to melt the ice in the heart of man. And of course, when she died, only then did I become aware how great a mother I had. So I made her a chant. It's called Sammiq at-tuqum Machinnid, melting the ice in the heart of man. This is how I do it. Oh, 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 oh. Oh